All right, up next we have Cancer rising and sun. This Sagittarius full moon happening on May 23rd is taking place in your sixth house. And one of the things that this full moon I feel like is about is, first of all, an extension of the Taurus New Moon, where there's something that we're trying to manifest, but there's something also that I feel like we're kind of holding on to that we're not necessarily super willing to let go of. And because it's a Sagittarius full moon, a lot of beliefs and perceptions are wrapped up into our desire to keep holding on to something that's preventing us from evolving and moving more towards what we want. So, with this full moon being in your sixth house, there could be some things that you need to change your perspective on when it comes to how you're managing your day to day life and responsibilities or your health. What's interesting though is from the cards, I'm getting the sense that I feel like something that you are maybe like more emotionally attached to with this Knight of Cups in reverse that is distorting the reality of what's really happening. Like you are like tricking yourself or not seeing the situation clearly or making it bigger than it is or feeling like you're making excuses for things as to why things can't happen. There's something where it's like your emotions are kind of getting the better of you. It's almost like if you're with the wrong type of person and everyone's telling you like this person doesn't treat you the way that you deserve and you're making excuses for them. Well, they can't because of this or they're not because of that. So there's this energy here of your emotions lying to you or getting the better of you in some kind of way. And I feel like a lot of this full moon is about seeing things with more clarity around, again, where we maybe need to challenge our existing perceptions. So if you are feeling like you view like I'm just using an example, but you're viewing a relationship in your life through a certain lens, but it's actually really not, that relationship isn't serving you, and that way of viewing them is actually lying to yourself and is not in alignment with your truth, the truth, then it's like it's time to switch up our perspectives, which is what the Sagittarius full moon is about. And I feel like you guys are going to be successful in that. One of the strong messages that came through in the Nine of Wands and the Nurturer was to have really clear boundaries. And this could be in regards to work because this is a full moon in your sixth house. This could be in regards to taking care of things for other people. This is the Nurturer card. Or in things that you need to do to take care of yourself. So let's say you're taking on stuff for other people. Maybe this is you also need to make sure that you have time to take care of yourself, nurture yourself. So there's something about having clear roles, clear boundaries, limits where you make sure that you are meeting your needs in the end, and that you are, again, kind of viewing the situation not from an emotional lens where you could be making it bigger or smaller or distorting it in some way. And you're trying to see it with clarity and then make boundaries that reflect what's happening in the situation as it truly is. So let's say your company is giving not giving you enough hours at work, let's just say. This could be you feeling like making that a really big deal emotionally, but also then at this full moon, maybe you realize actually like I don't want to work that many hours because I need this much time to take care of myself. So it's like you're reviewing the situation through new eyes. And I feel like there's something that is actually going on here that you might be emotional about. You might feel like something is unfair, which is common with the sixth house, or like you're putting things in and not getting things out. You might feel like you're doing a lot of that work. But I feel like actually things are turning in your favor. So even though there might be some area of your life where you feel like I'm putting in this effort, but I'm not getting the results back, I really think that it's probably just a matter of time in a lot of ways with this Wheel of Fortune and the Nine of Wands. It's telling you to keep going because the best is yet to come. The situation is going to be improving. So I think some of you guys need to hear that. There's some area of your life where you may be a more emotional about it because it might seem unfair in some way. But it's going to actually turn out to be really fair. It's going to turn out quite positively for you. And one of the things that might be a part of that is your own decision to have certain expectations and standards and boundaries. So it's like, okay, my relationship might improve with people once I say that I'm only available during these times and I make sure to take care of my stuff first. But with the ruler of this moon, Jupiter, next to Venus at 29 degrees in Taurus in your 11th house, there's something going on with friends, community, your belonging. Maybe you've done a lot to like appease people and like not shake the boat, and you want that area of your life to be stable. But there's something about this where it's like we kind of need to shake up the way that we're approaching our relationships and make sure that we're really nurturing ourselves and not just like throwing ourselves by the wayside because we want to just get along and everything to be good. And you know what I mean? It's like, well, maybe I need to have clear boundaries. And it doesn't have to be anything rough, right? It doesn't have to be anything harsh. But there is just this general sense of doing what you need to do to take care of yourself and nurture yourself. And that may require your perception on how to relate to people changing, and your perception of relationships with others just changing. And yeah. I hope this is making sense because I feel like there's a lot of scenarios that I'm trying to like fit into this message. I think another thing to ask yourself is, does this exchange feel clean? Because with this Knight of Cups in reverse, it feels like there's a little like emotional volatility, this kind of moodiness, and that can bring out exchanges with people that feel messy, that feel complicated, that feel like, ugh. And so there's a way to like set boundaries while also still feeling like that exchange is clean and not emotionally volatile or messy in some kind of way. And so asking yourself how you can go about that, I think, is really key. Okay. There might also be something here around balancing how much you give and receive with other people. Because again, I was sensing a little bit of like this unfairness. Like, oh, I always invite them over, but they never invite me over. Or like, I always pay for stuff, but then they never pay for me as well. So it's like, if you guys feel like there's something in your life that feels imbalanced, I see that improving, but I feel like it's improving because you're setting boundaries with people and you're acting very clear on like what you deserve. And I think that's a really big part of this full moon for everyone is self-worth. You guys also have Mars, Chiron, and North Node in Aries in the 10th house. There's a sensitive spot here with this where something could be happening within our relationships with authority figures, with our goals, with our, life objectives, the company that we work for, kind of things that we pursue, or the people who can, I guess, give us stuff. There's something going on here that might be a little bit sensitive here, because Mars and Chiron and Aries is definitely like painful ego, feeling not like we're lacking confidence, not sure how we're going to move forward, or wanting something but feeling like we can't have it. There's a lot of that type of energy, difficulty with men especially, or masculine drive. And so you might feel like that in relationship with authority or towards your goals. There could be something happening in that area of your life that's more sensitive. And I feel like one of the pieces of advice is to act more strategically, because this Mars and Aries energy can be quite impulsive. And I feel like sometimes, we want to really like use our intuition, and we want to make sure that we feel in alignment and that everything is good in that sense. And we want to follow our passions. But I feel like maybe that's been something that you've overly relied on. And now it's time to act with more strategy and have more of these kind of facts to back you up. So, if you're lacking confidence about something, instead of trying to resolve that through following your whims or, listening to your intuition or whatever, it's like, how can I make a very strong plan? How can I educate myself? How can I make sure that I have all the facts and make this very strategic decision on how to move forward that can then bolster my confidence, because I have a lot more behind me besides just like, oh, I think that this is the right decision. I think that I should do this. I just feel like it. It's like, what if you could improve your relationship with this authority figure or with your goal in some way by having that facts or that data behind you. So that's what I'm seeing for you, Cancer. Before you hop off, I want you to ask a question about your manifestation, about timing, or just something important for you in your life right now. And I will pull a card. So if you need to pause, go ahead and do so. So the card we got is abundance. So yeah, I definitely see that with the Wheel of Fortune and this abundance card. I feel like you guys are definitely entering into an era where things are going to start working out for you. And you probably just need to hear that. If you feel like you're putting energy in and not getting it out, that's not going to be the case forever. This is slowly changing for you. So abundance is coming to you. Abundance is truly at your doorstep. Believe in it and also back it up. Your pursuit of abundance, back it up with the logic and the strategy that's important instead of just your feeling, which is also helpful, but not the full and complete picture. So that's what I'm saying for you, Cancer. Before you hop off, I am doing a medical astrology and fertility astrology reading. So if you're interested in receiving support astrologically for either of those, you can check that out down below. And if you want to join my email list, I am sending out these videos along with additional astrological information, which I find really helps people. So if you're interested in that, you can also find that in my description box. Don't forget to give me a comment, a thumbs up, subscribe, and share with your friends, and have a beautiful day. Bye.